Hello, welcome to People in Perspective. I'm Ken Thomas, and joining me on this program is Nina Chantele, a radio TV personality from right here in Chicago. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
I was wondering, what is it like to be the first female radio personality for like dual channels?
You know what's really cool is I actually became the very first on-air personality, period, and I just happened to be a woman who's done 2 different formats in one major market meaning Chicago, because it's New York, then LA, and then Chicago, and it felt pretty awesome because I felt like not only did I represent Chicago and minorities, but women as well, and kind of paving the way for that. So because I do hip-hop and R&B, and then I do, top 40 rhythmic and television, it just became like pretty cool. People got to, I guess, I don't know, maybe know my name. I'm not sure if they do or not, but yeah.
Where have you traveled to as far as radio?
I'm born and raised in Chicago, and I actually started here in Chicago, and that was around 10 years ago. And I was doing part-time and like what they call a swing shift, where I would fill in for full-time people. And then I got a job offer a year and 7 months later to do afternoon drive in Miami. I left and I did that for about 2 years. When I got there, I was blessed with #1 ratings, and I got a job offer to do middays on a station in Charleston, South Carolina, based out of Miami. And I did that, and then I got another offer to do Fort Myers, Florida, based out of Miami as well. So I was doing all 3 based out of Miami. And then I went to Austin, Texas for 5 months. Long story, I didn't feel it, so I left. And then I was in Dallas for a year. And then I came back to Chicago in 2006 on KISS FM. And then when they created the morning show on WGCI, they asked me to be a part of it, and I kind of fought my way to keep both. And that's how I became first on-air personality to do 2 different formats in a major market. So I've been doing those 2 jobs, KISS and GCI, for almost 4 years in April. Yeah.
Cool. As far as all 3, is it like difficult to manage or?
You know what? Not for me. I like to keep it moving. I have to be the kind of fast-paced person. So it's pretty cool because I do a whole different thing with the team in the morning with 2 comedians. And then I go to the television, to ABC 7. I go do that from 9 a.m. till 9:30, take a cab right back, and I do 103.5 KISS FM by myself. So I think it's because it's different on each station that it doesn't feel like it's overwhelming. And I'm actually done by noon, as opposed to somebody who has got to stay all day. It's just back to back to back. It's pretty cool.
And what's it like to share like the radio channel, I guess, with 2 different people on as far as WGCI? Yeah.
Well, the team, this is the first time I've worked on a team, so it takes some getting used to, because it's a thing about getting to know your team, and it's chemistry. It's either you have it or you don't. And we were blessed to be able to have chemistry, and we're like brother and sisters in that room together. So. And
that's
Tony Schofield and Leon Rogers.
Oh, okay. And what's it like to have to mix all the different types of music, and as far as like celebrities and things like that? Like, what is it like for celebrities and different people to be into the station with you?
It's pretty cool. I mean, you get comfortable, you get to know. I was fortunate enough to, when I lived in Miami, I got to know a lot of the celebrities because I didn't have any family there, and those were the people I would hang around with. And because I built relationships with them, now whenever they would come to different stations that I've been in different cities, when they come in, it's like we already know each other and they're very comfortable. And then, so now it's just like when you meet somebody, it's cool, you get to know them. You should always have research and be comfortable with them. They're regular people just like us, and they want to feel comfortable,
And who have you met recently?
Recently?
Or well, in your whole career?
Oh gosh, so many people. I can't even, I honestly, there's so many names. I can't even.
Recently.
Recently, like about a week ago, we had our concert for WGCI, Big Jam, and on that roster, I got to run into Fat Joe again. He was a friend from before. Kelly Rowland, got to run into her again. Keisha Cole, got to run into her again. Usher, Tamar Braxton, and Vince Herbert. There's so many. Katy Perry was recent. I don't know. I feel stumped. There's so many. I can't, because it just depends on both stations.
And what's your, what's next for you? Like, what do you want as your dream job, basically?
I want to be like the female Ryan Seacrest or the female George Lopez. Like, I want to continue doing radio and television at the same time, but on a bigger scale. I want to be able to do it nationwide.
Okay.
I want to do movies maybe too.
And who would you like to work with that you haven't before?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. It just depends on what I would be doing. I'd like to host like my own television show as well. So, and I met Oprah before too. That was recent. But that it just reminded me because I want to host my own television show. So I want to do something like that.
And I read your bio, and it said that you help with different charities and organizations. Like, what would you do? What do you do with that?
I work with families of victims of domestic violence and battered women. Those are charities that are near and dear to my heart. It's the Cleo Barrett Angel Foundation. A dear friend, his sister was murdered by her boyfriend. And when I was younger, my best friend since kindergarten, her father killed her mother when we were in 7th grade, and it changed their lives. And because I had that kind of close to me, I decided that if I was going to work with a charity, I wanted to help these people because I've seen it firsthand. And I also, like helping the youth and kind of like paying it forward for, women, for ladies, for students. I think that's what it's all about.
What do you think people should do, like, to help that, like?
To help others like in that position? Yeah. I think that different people need to use the power of the mic for the better, not to gloat or talk about themselves. But, the power of the mic is very powerful. And if you can spread a word or if you can help others, I think that's what it should be. And maybe God put me here to be able to help people for the positive. Whatever it is, I just want to continue to help people because no person is better than anybody else. And I think that everybody's destined to do something,
I want to thank Nina Chantele for being on the show today. I'm Ken Thomas, and we'll see you next time on People in Perspective.